Hi, I'm Faisal Javed. I'm an ambassador for the Diversity Project, and I wanted to do this video mainly for non-Muslims that may want to know a little bit more about Ramadan, which starts on the 2nd or 3rd of April. And hopefully this will be useful to anyone that's got Muslim colleagues or Muslim clients or just has a general interest. So let me share my screen. So the plan for the next, hopefully 10 minutes or so, is basically to do a who, what, when, where, and why of Ramadan, but there is no where, so we'll do a how instead. So let's start with what is Ramadan? So Ramadan is very simply a month of the Islamic calendar. So the Islamic calendar is a lunar one, and Ramadan is the 9th month in that calendar. The month, as every Islamic month does, starts with the sighting of the new moon, and fasting during the month is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. I'm not going to go through all of the 5, they are there on screen, but you'll see number 4 is fasting in Ramadan. So that's the what. Let's do the when, specifically when is Ramadan and when does the fast start and end? So as I mentioned, it's a lunar calendar used in Islam. It's 11 days shorter than the solar calendar. So Ramadan actually moves from year to year. It moves earlier by approximately 11 days each year. So as Ramadan moves through the year, at the moment it's getting easier every year because it's encompassing some shorter days. As I mentioned up front, this year Ramadan starts on the 2nd or 3rd of April, depending on when that new moon is sighted. And the fasting period is from dawn to sunset. Important distinction there between dawn and sunrise. So the first fast in London will be from around 5 a.m. till 7:40 p.m. Sunrise isn't until about 6:30 a.m. So dawn is slightly earlier, and the fast will get longer through the month as the days get longer, as daylight extends. Just for a bit of comparison, Abu Dhabi, the first fast there will be from around 4:45 in the morning till 6:50ish. That is, around an hour shorter. The graphic on the right hand side there, I've pinched from the internet. That is actually last year. It will be a very similar picture this year in terms of the length of the fasts, but it just illustrates that London is one of the longer fasts in the world. So, around a 17-hour fasting period. And at the end of Ramadan, we have the Muslim festival of Eid al-Fitr. And in the Islamic world, that is a 3-day event. Muslims will get together, they'll pray the Eid prayer in the morning, they'll get together with friends and family, lots and lots of food will be consumed. And there can be a little bit of confusion exactly when Eid is, because it's dependent on sighting of the new moon. So you don't know, although you know when the new moon should be visible, you don't know for certain if it's been sighted in your local area until the night before. And that is why there can be a little bit of confusion if it's between 2 dates when Eid exactly will be. So let's go on to the who, specifically who has to fast in Ramadan. So it's only for adults. It's only for people that are fit and able to do the fast. You absolutely should not be fasting if it would be dangerous to your health. So there are several categories of people that are exempt from fasting. That includes children, includes the elderly, pregnant or breastfeeding women, anyone that's ill, anyone that requires medication, and also travelers. If you're traveling, you shouldn't be fasting. It's not unknown actually for athletes to continue to fast even when they're competing. Um, I mentioned this partly because I can't really avoid a sporting reference, if anyone that knows me, but also I think it's pretty amazing. So the example I always go back to is Hakeem Olajuwon. So basketball, my favorite sport. Hakeem Olajuwon, probably the most famous um, Muslim basketball player. He, two-time NBA champion, Hall of Famer. Amazing athlete from Nigeria. He fasted throughout his NBA career, and I pinched some stats off Reddit. I, I assume they're accurate, but it's Reddit. So he quite amazingly for a couple of seasons. So the highlighted stats there for the 94 to 95 season and the 96 to 97 season, while fasting, put up better stats than when he was not fasting, which to me is incredible. So he continued to play around 40 minutes per game. Basketball match is 48 minutes in the NBA. So played most of the game, which is in itself pretty amazing. He scored more points in those 2 seasons while he was fasting, and he put up more assists. So there's an emphasis on charitable giving during the month, and he was obviously sharing the basketball more than usual. So if he can play 3 to 4 games per week while fasting, there's little excuse for me to not fast while I'm in the office, sitting around not doing much. So let's go on to the how. Specifically, how is the fast performed? So you have to get up before dawn. So you saw the time earlier, 5 a.m. You have to be up before that to have your early morning meal, which is called suhoor or seri, and pray your first daily prayer. For that first meal, it varies what people have, but you probably want something substantial that's going to last you through the day. So porridge, probably not Cocoa Pops or Frosties or anything like that. And then you're not going to have any food or drink until sunset. So get up, have your morning meal. You'll pray your first prayer of the day. Try and get back to bed. Get some more shut eye, and then you get up, continue your day, and try to the best of your ability to do whatever you would normally do. No food or drink, and yes, that means no water, all the way through to sunset. But fasting is not just about going without food or water. You should be on your best behavior during the month as well. So while you're fasting, you've got to try to avoid swearing, one I struggle with. No gossiping, no casting judgment, no losing your temper. So it's training to try and be a better person. So you're trying to do all those things while you're fasting. And then you normally break the fast with either dates or water. It's traditional to break it with dates. And then you would pray at that time, and then you would have your evening meal, which is called iftar. And iftar is normally it's a social event. You get together with friends and family. It's pretty common to invite people over during the month to have iftar together, and many mosques will serve iftar as well, so that everyone in the community has a good evening meal, or has the access to a good evening meal. And then after the iftar, many Muslims will go to some optional prayers called tarawih, and tarawih can be an hour long, perhaps maybe longer, at the mosque pretty late at night. And through the month, the imam will try and get through the entirety of the Quran, reciting each evening. Now I won't get to tarawih every night. I try to get to a couple during the month. Other people are more dedicated and will do that, and it's something to be aware of. One, because people have time commitments in the evening, and another is it can be a little bit tiring. So just something to keep in mind. So let's move on to the why we've done who and when and so on. Why do all this? So firstly, because it is part of the faith. It's one of our 5 pillars. So Muslims will fast because um, it's mandatory on us to do it. But it goes beyond that. So this is a really personal thing. I've put up here some of the reasons why I fast, and some of the more common reasons I've heard, or the benefits as well. So one, it completely breaks your daily routine. That is no more when you are waking up at a different hour, having your meals at different times, not eating or drinking during the day. It's a good reason to reflect on all the things you should be grateful for the fact that you do have access to water and food when it comes to break your fast. Not everyone in the world has that. So that's in itself, I think, a really good exercise. It's a time when you should be getting closer to Islamic teachings. Every year there'll be something different I pick up. I find, although I'm not the most observant Muslim, there's wisdom in all the teachings, and I pick up something different. Each Ramadan there'll be something different going on in your life that you'll turn to Islamic teachings, and there's something that applies to you. There is a lot of emphasis, as I've sort of alluded to, on sort of family time, particularly in the evenings around iftar, but also on charity and charitable giving. And people will tend to donate more to charity and try to do more for charities during the month, which is really nice. And communities will come together in this period. And there are health benefits. So intermittent fasting is probably a relatively new thing in the Western world, and people are beginning to understand some of the health benefits that go along with that. There's numerous studies that have spoken about some of the health benefits to fasting, but actually this has been going on for centuries, and that's it. So I hope that is helpful and gives a little bit of an insight into what Ramadan is about and why Muslims do it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask your Muslim colleagues. Don't be shy. Everyone tends to be quite open to talking about all these things. And I wish all the Muslims Ramadan Mubarak, and that it's easy on them through the month, and I look forward to Eid at the end of the month. Thanks very much for listening. Bye.